Hello guys, what's up? I hope you are doing great. We have been talking about C#, classes, methods, and many more things now. We have written a few methods, and called them. A method may take some parameters. And now, it is time to discuss about, what are the possible ways to pass parameters to a method.
Hey Mark, do you mean there are multiple ways to pass a parameter?
Yes, sure there are. We are going to discuss 4 types of method parameters. Value parameter, reference parameter, output parameter, and parameter array. So, first of all, what are these parameters? And why do we even need to have them? Parameters are a list of multiple types of data, which we pass to method. The method then may use these data for taking some sort of action, or may use them in some calculations. Actually, there are 2 terms related to these data. Suppose we have a simple method, add, which takes 2 integer numbers, and adds them. The method signature, where the names of the data are defined, are called as the parameters. And when we call the method, and pass actual integer values, these are called as arguments of the method. Value parameters. We have so far always used the value parameters in our examples. These are used for passing the input arguments as actual values of the data. Value parameters corresponds to the local variables, whose values are received from the arguments. Let's understand what this means, with the help of add method. The input parameters, int a, and int b, of the method add, are value parameters. These are actually 2 local variables, and are available for use within this add method only. When we call the method add, and pass 2 values, the actual passed values are not affected by any operation done in the method. Suppose, we passed values of 2 variable number 1 and number 2, to the add method. And then, int a's value is received from number 1, and int b's value is received from number 2. If suppose, we modify the value of b, by any chance, say multiplied it by 2. Then it is not going to affect the value of number 2. Also, there is a concept of default value of parameter. Suppose, we have 3 parameters for method add. Int a, int b, and int c. Suppose, we specify the value of c, as 0, in the method signature only, then 0 is the default value for parameter c. When we call the method add, we can omit the argument corresponding to int c. It will take the default value, if a value is not passed in the argument. The parameter c is then called as the optional parameter, and all other parameters, for which default value is not specified in the method signature, are called as required parameters. Remember, all optional parameters must appear only after the all required parameters. Otherwise, if you specify an optional parameter in between required parameters, it is a compilation error in C#. Now we will move to the reference parameters. This type of parameters are used to pass the reference to an existing variable, instead of passing the actual value of that variable. The reference parameter is identified by the C# keyword, ref. For example, we have a method, make twice. It takes one parameter of int type, and returns void. The parameter number, of type int, is preceded with ref keyword. Let's define an int type variable n, and assign it a value, 9. Now, we can call method make twice, and pass variable n, with ref keyword to this method. When we access the variable n, after calling the method, the value of n will be 18. This means, the reference type variable does not correspond to a local variable of the method. Instead, the passed argument is actually modified. This is because, the variable n, and the parameter number of the method, both are pointing to the same data. Note that, before passing a reference type variable as an argument to a method, the variable must be initialized with some value. Otherwise, it is a compilation error in C#. Because, if the variable is not initialized, then the called method does not know which data to take action on. The next type of parameter is output parameter. It is identified by the C# keyword, out. The output parameter is very similar to a reference type parameter. However, the variable passed as out parameter need not be initialized before passing as an argument. For example, we have a method getSquare. It takes one value parameter, number, and one out parameter result. The result parameter is assigned a value by this method. When calling this method, you can pass initialized or uninitialized variable as an argument. In fact, you can declare a variable inside the method call itself. Remember, this argument must be used with the out keyword. And this variable must be assigned a value inside the method, otherwise it is a compilation error. Finally, let's see what is a parameter array. There may be some situation when you need to call a method, but you don't know at the compile time how many parameters will be passed to it. In this case, a parameter array can be passed as an argument. It provides a way to pass variable number of arguments to a method. It is identified by the C# keyword, params. And the type must always be a single-dimensional array of some type. For example, a string array. The size of array need not be declared at compile time. For example, we can write a generic addition method, which can take n number of integers as input. The addition is then performed over a loop, which iterates for the number of times equal to length of array. Note that, if params parameter is to be used with other type of parameters in the same method, then the params parameter must be the last one in the parameter list. So that's it for now. Enjoy writing various methods, using various types of parameters. Happy coding! Thank you for joining in. Did you find the content useful? If you like our discussions, then please do not forget to subscribe the channel.
Also, like and share the videos, and feel free to comment.
This is really going to help our channel grow, and reach to all those who are getting started with C#, like we do. Thank you.